You've tried everything for a good night's sleep. The pills, the teas, the sleep masks. But have you tried looking down at your own 2 feet? What if I told you that one of the most powerful, ancient, and gentle secrets to achieving deep, restful sleep begins with nothing more than a simple basin of warm water? Today, we are going to rediscover the forgotten healing ritual of the bedtime foot soak. Welcome back to Healthier Daily, the channel where we give you the simple science-backed truths to live a stronger and more independent life after 60. I'm your host, Dr. Ben Carter. And to guide us through this traditional healing practice, we are joined by a physician who is a master of these gentle, time-honored remedies. It is our great honor to welcome Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara.
Thank you for having me, Ben. This is a very comforting topic. In traditional Eastern medicine, the feet are seen as a powerful gateway to the entire body. They are full of thousands of sensitive nerve endings and important acupressure points. By warming and stimulating the feet in a gentle and respectful way, we send a powerful calm down signal up through the legs and into the entire nervous system. This simple act prepares the body for deep and peaceful rest.
And that is exactly what we're going to explore today. In this detailed guide, Dr. Hinohara is going to walk us through 7 different wonderful foot soak recipes. To make them easy for you to understand and choose from, we have grouped them into 3 functional categories. First, we will cover the calming and purifying soaks. Second, we will talk about the warming and circulating soaks. And third, we will explore the aromatic and medicated soaks. It's a true blessing to know that such a simple act of caring for our feet, the very foundation that carries us through life, can bring so much peace to our whole being. If you are ready to learn this simple, powerful ritual for better sleep, please type the number 1 in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe to our channel. It's completely free. And this guide is full of wonderfully soothing and practical advice. Okay, doctor, let's get right into the recipes for this forgotten sleep ritual. You said the first category of foot soaks is the calming and purifying soaks. What is the simplest and most foundational foot soak of all for someone to start with tonight?
The simplest of all and a wonderful place for everyone to begin is the warm salt water foot soak. For centuries, salt has been used in cultures all around the world to help cleanse the body, to ease tension, and to help the muscles and the mind relax. The warm water itself helps to open up the blood vessels in the feet, which improves circulation. And the salt helps to ease that feeling of heavy, tired, or achy legs that so many of us feel at the end of a long day of being on our feet.
That's right. And there are a couple of scientific principles at work here that are very interesting. The first is a simple process called osmosis. The concentration of salt in the water can help to gently draw out excess fluid and impurities from the tissues in your feet. This can be very helpful for reducing mild swelling in the feet and ankles that many people experience. But I think the real power of this method comes when people choose to use Epsom salt instead of regular table salt. Epsom salt is not actually salt. It is magnesium sulfate. As we have discussed many times on Healthier Daily, magnesium is the body's great relaxation mineral. Your skin is your largest organ, and it can absorb this magnesium directly from the water. This can help to directly relax tired muscles and send a powerful calming signal up through your entire nervous system.
To prepare it, the method is very simple. You fill a small basin with comfortably warm water around 100 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 38 to 40 degrees Celsius. You then add about a half a cup of Epsom salt or 2 to 3 tablespoons of a good mineral sea salt and stir until it is completely dissolved. Then you simply soak your feet for 15 to 20 minutes. It is a very simple and very powerful way to send that it's time to rest signal to your body.
So the salt soak is a wonderful physical relaxer for the muscles in the body. What about our second soak in this calming category, doctor? I know this one is focused more on calming the mind and the spirit.
Yes, our second soak is the fresh rose petal foot soak. This is a beautiful and gentle ritual. It is for the person whose sleep is not disturbed by physical pain, but by a feeling of sadness, of worry, or a heavy heart that they carry with them to bed. I had a patient, a woman in her late 70s, who was feeling very down and anxious after her husband had passed away. She told me that she could not sleep because her mind was always filled with sad thoughts at night. Sometimes a simple ritual can be a very powerful medicine for a heavy heart. I suggested she try this. A few times a week, she would prepare a warm foot soak for herself in the evening, and she would just float a few fresh rose petals in the water. She told me that the beautiful sight of the petals and the gentle calming scent helped to lift her spirits. She said that those 15 minutes of quiet, simple beauty were the most peaceful moments of her day, and they helped her to go to bed with a much calmer mind.
That is a beautiful story, and it is a perfect example of the science of aromatherapy. The natural scent of roses contains compounds like geraniol that have been shown in studies to have a direct calming effect on the brain when they are inhaled. This beautiful scent can help to lower levels of the stress hormone cortisol and promote a deep state of relaxation. It is not just a nice smell, it is a real physiological effect on your body. And it's a wonderful reminder that healing our bodies isn't just about minerals and science, but also about finding moments of peace and appreciating the simple, beautiful gifts we have been blessed with in nature, like a simple flower.
To prepare it, you simply add about 10 to 15 grams of fresh, clean rose petals to your warm water. It is a very gentle and a very beautiful way to prepare your body and your mind for a night of peaceful rest.
So, doctor, the salt soak is a wonderful physical relaxer for the body, and the rose petal soak is for calming the mind and the spirit. What is our next category of foot soaks? Who is this group of remedies for?
Our next category is the warming and circulating soaks. This is specifically for the person who often struggles with cold feet at night. This is a very common problem for seniors. Even when they are under a warm blanket, their feet can feel like blocks of ice, and this constant feeling of coldness and discomfort makes it very difficult to relax and fall into a deep sleep.
Cold feet at night. It is such a common complaint, and it really can ruin your sleep. What is the first and most powerful remedy for this specific problem, doctor?
The most powerful traditional warming remedy for the feet is our third soak on the list, the warm ginger foot soak. Ginger is a spice with very powerful natural warming properties that work from the inside out. I had a patient, a retired librarian in his late 60s. He told me that for years he had to wear 2 pairs of thick woolen socks to bed, even in the middle of the summer. His feet were always cold, and that feeling of coldness would keep him awake for hours, tossing and turning. It was a constant source of frustration for him and his wife. I taught him how to make a simple ginger foot soak. Every night, about an hour before he went to bed, he would boil some fresh ginger slices, let the water cool to a comfortable temperature, and soak his feet for 20 minutes. He told me it was like lighting a small warm fire inside his body. He said he could feel the warmth starting in his feet and then slowly spreading up through his legs. After just a few nights of this simple ritual, he was able to sleep comfortably with no socks on at all for the first time in many, many years. The ginger was helping to restore the natural warmth and circulation to his feet.
That is a wonderful story. And the modern science on this is very clear and supports that traditional wisdom. Ginger contains powerful active compounds called gingerols. These compounds are known as peripheral vasodilators. That is a scientific term that simply means they help to open up the small blood vessels and the tiny capillaries in your extremities, your hands, and your feet. When these tiny blood vessels open up, more warm oxygen, rich blood is able to flow into the area. This is not just a feeling of warmth on the surface of the skin. It is a true deep internal warming that is caused by a real improvement in your body's microcirculation.
To prepare it is very easy. You simply take 2 small pieces of fresh ginger root about the size of your thumb. You can slice them or gently crush them to help release the oils. You then simmer them in about 2 to 3 liters of water for 5 to 10 minutes. You will smell the wonderful spicy aroma. You then let it cool to a comfortably warm temperature and soak your feet for 15 to 20 minutes.
So the ginger is very powerful for creating that inner warmth. What about our next soak in this category, Doctor?
Our next soak has a very similar warming effect, but with a different, very comforting and sweet aroma. It is the warm cinnamon bark foot soak.
This is another great option. The main active compound in cinnamon bark is called cinnamaldehyde, and just like the gingerols in ginger, cinnamaldehyde also has powerful natural warming properties and helps to stimulate circulation in the body. For someone who loves the warm, sweet, comforting smell of cinnamon, this can be a wonderful alternative, or it can be something to rotate with the ginger soak from night to night. It really speaks to the amazing variety we have been blessed with in nature. Even for a specific problem like cold feet, there are multiple beautiful and effective solutions to choose from.
To prepare this, you can take a small handful of dried cinnamon bark. You can find this in most grocery stores or in a spice shop. You boil it in water for about 10 to 15 minutes to release all of the fragrant healing oils. Then you let it cool to a comfortable temperature and soak your feet. The entire room will fill with a beautiful, relaxing aroma.
This is so practical, Doctor. It provides real, gentle solutions for such a common problem. We love sharing this wisdom with our global community. To help us see our global community, please let us know what city, state, or country you are watching from. We love hearing from all of you. So, Doctor, we have soaks for general calming and soaks for warming the body and improving circulation. What is our third and final category? You called this one the aromatic and medicated soaks.
Yes, this group of foot soaks uses herbs that have more specific targeted effects on the nervous system. The first is a wonderful and very fragrant herb that is common in Southeast Asian cuisine. It is the lemongrass foot soak. This is especially good for the person who feels a lot of mental stress and anxiety at the end of the day.
And that's because the beautiful, fresh, citrusy scent of lemongrass comes from a compound called citral. Aromatherapy research has shown that inhaling the scent of citral has a direct calming effect on the central nervous system. It can help to reduce feelings of anxiety and quiet a racing mind, which is exactly what you need to do to allow your body to transition into a state of rest. This gentle aroma is like a reset button for your brain at the end of a long day.
To prepare it, you simply take a few fresh stalks of lemongrass. You should bruise them gently with the back of a knife to help release all of the wonderful oils. Then you simmer them in water for about 10 minutes before adding that fragrant water to your basin. The entire room will fill with a very peaceful and uplifting scent.
So lemongrass is a wonderful aromatic for anxiety. What is our next medicated soak, doctor? I know this one is very important in traditional Eastern medicine.
Our next herb is very important. It is mugwort. This is often used in traditional medicine for the person whose sleeplessness comes from tension headaches or a feeling of stiffness and pressure in the neck and shoulders. I had a patient, a man in his late 60s, who had worked at a computer his entire life. He would come home from work with a terrible tension headache almost every single evening. This constant pain in his head and his neck would make it impossible for him to relax and fall asleep. I taught him how to make a simple mugwort foot soak. He told me that as he would soak his feet in the warm herbal water, he could literally feel the tension begin to melt away from his neck and his shoulders. It was the first thing that had ever given him real relief from those evening headaches, and it allowed him to finally fall asleep peacefully.
That is a fascinating story. And while mugwort is less studied in the West, we know that it contains very potent compounds like artemisinin and various essential oils. The traditional understanding is that its warming and aromatic properties help to improve circulation and release what is called stagnation, which is often the root cause of tension headaches. The warmth of the foot soak itself helps to draw energy and circulation down away from the tense head and neck, which promotes a state of full-body relaxation.
Our final and perhaps most unique soak is another one from traditional Southeast Asian medicine that is very powerful. It is the betel leaf foot soak. Betel leaves are well known for their natural anti-inflammatory and pain-relieving properties. This soak is especially good for people who have aches and pains in the feet themselves, perhaps from arthritis in the ankles or on the tops of the feet.
Now, doctor, these last two herbs, mugwort and betel leaves, are not something that our viewers in America are going to find at their local grocery store next to the carrots. This is a very real and practical challenge. What is your advice for finding these special herbs?
That is a very practical question. It requires a little bit of detective work, but it is certainly possible. First, the best place to look for these fresh leaves is in a large Asian market or grocery store. Many communities across America have these now, and they are a wonderful resource for all kinds of traditional and healthy herbs. Second, you can often find high-quality dried versions of both mugwort and betel leaves from reputable online herbal suppliers. You would simply use a smaller amount of the dried leaves to make your soak, as they are more concentrated. And third, for any of the gardeners in our audience, mugwort is actually a very easy herb to grow yourself in a small pot, on your patio, or in your garden.
That's wonderful and very helpful advice. It's a true blessing to know that with just a little bit of effort, we can access these healing gifts from all around the world, connecting us to the deep wisdom of so many different cultures. Doctor, this has been an amazing list of 7 different wonderful recipes for a healing foot soak. To bring all of this wisdom together and to ensure our viewers are doing this in the safest and most effective way possible, let's create a master protocol. What are the essential rules for the perfect bedtime foot soak?
Yes, the method is very important to get the best results. There are a few key rules to follow. First is the timing. The ideal time to soak your feet is about 30 to 60 minutes before you plan to go to bed. This gives your body time to fully relax and allows that calming effect to carry you gently into sleep.
And what about the water temperature? Should it be very hot?
No, it is very important that it is not too hot. A comfortably warm temperature between 100 and 104 degrees Fahrenheit which is about 38 to 40 degrees Celsius, is ideal. Water that is too hot can be a shock to the system and is especially dangerous for people who may have diabetes or circulation issues.
And how long should we soak our feet for?
You should not soak for more than 30 minutes. A good and effective range is between 15 and 20 minutes. If you soak for too long, your body can actually begin to lose heat, which is the opposite of what we want. And while you are soaking, it is a wonderful practice to gently massage the soles of your feet. This helps to stimulate the nerve endings and deepens the relaxation.
And finally, doctor, let's be very clear about the most important safety warnings. Who should not be doing a foot soak at home?
This is a critical point. You must not soak your feet if you have any open wounds, infected skin, or any kind of tissue damage on your feet or ankles. And most importantly, if you have diabetic complications that affect the sensation in your feet, which is called neuropathy. You must not do this at home, as you may not be able to accurately judge the water temperature and could burn yourself without realizing it. For anyone with serious vascular or neurological conditions, you must always speak with your doctor first before starting this or any new routine.
That is the perfect, responsible advice. So we have our 3 categories of soaks: the calming, the warming, and the medicated. And now we have the master protocol for doing them safely. This is a complete toolkit for achieving deep sleep. This gentle traditional practice is a wonderful and often overlooked aspect of good senior health. By creating this simple nightly ritual, our viewers can calm their nervous system and create the perfect conditions for deep sleep. It is a powerful tool for improving senior health from the ground up, and it gives so much hope to people who have been struggling to find that restorative deep sleep.
I want to leave you with this one final thought. Sleep does not happen by accident. It is the result of the signals you send to your body. A slower breath, a softer light, and a simple basin of warm water for your tired feet. These are the gentle signals that invite sleep to return to your life.
That is a beautiful message, doctor. Inviting sleep to return. It's a wonderful reminder that our bodies were designed for rest, and it is a blessing to have these simple, natural ways to care for them and find the peace we need. And of course, our conversation today is for educational purposes. Please follow the safety guidelines we've discussed and always consult with your physician to ensure this practice is right for you. If you found this guide helpful and are excited to try this comforting ritual, please give this video a like so that others can find this information. And be sure to share it with a friend or family member who deserves a good night's sleep. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. It is completely free, and it ensures you will not miss our next practical health guide. And for our community discussion today, which of these 7-foot soak recipes are you most curious to try tonight? Please share your choice in the comments below. Thank you for being with us. We wish you a night of deep and peaceful rest.